Hi friends, it's Nancy, and it's been a month since the 100-day project began. Well, it's been a little more than a month actually. I think today's day 33. I could be wrong. So I want to show you. I have been sharing all of my makes on Instagram, but if you don't follow me on Instagram or you don't use Instagram, I thought I'd just share what I did do. So while I was away on vacation, I didn't have all of my paper crafting stuff, but I did take some fabric scraps and some embroidery floss and, little sewing kit, what have you, so that I could continue to create every day. So I'm going to show you that first. I'll show you these tags. So these tags need to be finished. I'm not even sure you can see the embroidery on this one. But I am going to decorate this somehow. I was thinking I would put a picture of an old cabinet, not a cabinet card, a carte de visite. And I'm going to back it with some Tim Holtz. Well, this is Tim Holtz fabric, so I'm going to back it with some Tim Holtz paper. I'm not sure all of the fabrics are Tim Holtz, but they're all Tim Holtz-esque. And I'm going to put a big, the wide eyelets at the top. I have some in pewter, I think. This one isn't scrappy at all. I just wanted to get a lot of pink in. This one, I just drew circles on. It was the lid of a spray can, and then I used, I think, 3 different colors of thread, and then I worked on a snippet roll. So this is 3 inches wide, used dryer sheets. I feel like this is going the wrong way. So just some sloppy old stitching. I got little bits of hardware I'm going to stitch onto this, and some buttons. So there's that. Okay. Now, for the days that I was home, I would take a piece of genuine ephemera. I need to slurp on my coffee before it turns cold. I have lots of genuine ephemera that's not really stowed anywhere. It's just sort of in a box. So every day I've been grabbing a piece and making something. So in no particular order, this was the instructions from a box of flashcards from 1956. And this is a tag from 1925. This little thing, it's the bottom third of a paper bag. This one I just made the other day. So it would be like this on a page, and then you would lift it up and it opens up the bag, and inside I just have a little strip of paper, This is cut from an old envelope, and that's from an old book. So you can hide little treasures in a little paper bag. This one, I just used a sewing pattern and cut apart the different pieces and elements and just collaged it back together onto a piece of card. Here's another teeny tiny paper bag. This one's even smaller. And I got it at the dollar store. I think there was a pack of 10. So this is a calling card for Mrs. Miller. And then I have another tag in there. Another sewing pattern tag that I did. This one you saw me do on Tuesday. It's just, it flips open and offers extra journaling. This was a piece of paper that was in with some sewing machine attachment parts. Okay, so this tag, this is this would have had like one of those hands that hold flowers and you lift it up and the person's name's underneath. Well, it's gone. It was torn off at some point. So this is a calling card. This cake is from a 1952 cookbook, and I have a 1940s invoice receipt thingamajig. Okay, this invoice, this is actually the back of an invoice. The words on the or the front of it had like the listing of the things that were purchased. So I just made a tag out of it. This is an old thing too, an old genuine piece of ephemera. And oh, he's singing, let me pause. And because it talks about tea, coffee, cocoa, I put this fussy cut from a book, a teacup on there, and some texture paste, an old shell button. This letter was sent in 1910 to somebody, Mrs. Ram, and I just tore it in half. The back had this stamp on it, so I cut that off the back and put it on the front. And this is it was a little booklet. There wasn't anything in it. 1909. It just talks about the upcoming program for a church in New York. So I just added some little pieces of paper and stitched it with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch and married those two up together. This is a carte de visite size photo. Kind of speaks for itself. Here's another photo. I just got this in Savannah. Not in Savannah, I got it on Tybee Island actually. And did this layered journal card. It could also be a topper for a junk journal. But I've got some blue, got some green. Oh, these I did just after I got back from this. I did on a video. So this is just a master board of stamps. This is a paper clip, and this pulls out to make some hidden journaling. Isn't that cute? Where I knew dates, I would put the dates. Where I didn't know the dates, I would guess the date. This was one of the first ones I did. So here is a raggedy old carte de visite on a 1893 envelope. Some antique lace, buttons, and inside is a letter. And it can be opened up for journaling. This was packaging from some seam binding, clearly. I just backed it with some tea-dyed paper, gave it some stitching. This came from a 1905 magazine, and I just created this element. Has some vintage wallpaper. Oh, excuse me, vintage wallpaper. I'm gonna sneeze. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. Couple pieces of vintage lace, and this bow is vintage. It's probably antique, actually. It came from a lace bonnet. This is the lace. This one, it's the receipt in the back from 1920. And I just made this tag out of it. That's genuine. This is genuine. The image came from a book. And last but not least, this is a paper bag. It was bigger, from Eaton's, which is now defunct. You can probably see there's some onion skin paper in there, or tea-dyed tracing paper in there. And I quite literally tore the book apart and just glued it on and made a new bag. I thought this might make a nice like tip in, and I could put a writing space on the back. This is not a tag yet. I just put it in there because I was afraid that the bag would glue all together. And I didn't want that to happen. So that is an update on the 100-day challenge. All right, next up, I'm going to bring you up to speed on the hashtag 50 Stack Challenge 4, which is a challenge from Amy at Crafty Cat. I don't have these in any particular order, and I don't remember what the prompts were. Some of them I'll remember, but most of them I don't know. This one, for example, I do remember. This is the prompt was tea. So I just fussy cut out pieces of blue and white china and put it on a piece of book page, and that'll make a great pocket. That's tea. I have no idea what this was about, but so this was from during World War II, and the Department of Agriculture was sending out the message that more wool was urgently needed. Let's get some sheep going here. So I backed that onto a piece of tea-dyed paper bag. I added some yarn, some knitted lace, and some fussy cuts of sheep. And while I was looking for sheep, I found this little stamp that has sheep on it, so I added some resin just to make a little decoration. This one the prompt was dog. This isn't a real cabinet card, or yeah, this was cut from a book, but I put it on some paper to give it dimension. And the dog was wearing a bow, the boy was wearing a bow. I added another bow. This one I remember, this was Grandma's attic. So this is a collage. This was a lace masterboard that I cut this tag from, and just added a fussy cut of a teddy bear. And I cannot remember what this was, but it is. This is a little piece of broken jewelry that I added. And I have fabric and a couple of laces there. I can't remember. Must have been floral, I'm guessing. So I used a book page and fussy cut a flower. And this is a genuine Denison label, and glued that on there. Did some messy stitching. This was travel. So this book cover actually was a journal, like a little notebook. And I just added some little strips of paper. No idea. Book page image. A little stamp. It's some antique lace, and I made this little tag to go in there. Oh, this one was St. Patrick's Day. I had nothing St. Patrick's Day. So this is the flyleaf from a book about Ireland, an old book about Ireland, and inked it up and did a little bit of watercolor here. While I was looking for St. Patrick's Day, I found this little image. This was an image of a sheet music cover. So I just put it on some chipboard and added a layer of resin. This one did not go as well as I had hoped. So I don't know if you can see it or not, but the acetate has the image of a spider on it. I made a shaker with eyeballs and stars, and this guy in the back is a magician. Yeah, it didn't go as great as I had hoped, but there you go. I think this one was cats. So I made this pocket from a greeting card, And it also flips open so you can do journaling inside. Don't know. No idea. So that's a holy card in French. I just made a tag out of that goes in this little pocket. Little bits of lace that I had sort of collaged there, and there's a tag. No idea. No idea. Bird. This one was birds. So this tag is, it did hand stitching around it and fussy cut this image. Here's another envelope. This one was poppy. I did not have a poppy. I've since found poppies in my stash, but couldn't find anything. I have a feeling I would rip that down a little more, but little pocket. Shabby. I think this might have been shabby. Wallpaper, a stamp, another stamp on wallpaper, antique lace. I'm almost out of this stuff. I mean, I've loved it so much. And this tag pulls out. This one was Your Town. So this is St. Thomas is where I was born and raised. Lived there most of my life. And it's known for trains. So this is the front of an envelope from a hardware merchant. I tore the envelope apart, fussy cut, well, I didn't fussy cut the train, but I fussy cut the smoke. And just backed it onto some envelope, modern envelope scraps that I brought home from the office. This is leather, and I was impressed that I could actually put 2 eyelets through there. This one's Alice in Wonderland. And these 2 little tags, I don't know, must have been nature, maybe? I'm not sure. So these are tags made from old ledger, old newspaper, and that's a genuine cigarette card, and that's a fussy cut. So that I am behind. I think I am behind 6 prompts because while I was away I missed 2 Mondays. Monday is when the prompt is given, but I have a list of what I want to do or what I want to catch up on. So I will be working on that as things go forward. Anyway, so there you go. All caught up on the work that maybe you didn't get to see before because you're not aware I'm on Instagram or you don't use Instagram. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you thought this was interesting. Talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.